In July of last year, there was mud here everywhere. The Ahr Valley in western Germany was hit by devastating flooding. In just a matter of days, a unique aid campaign was launched. The group, Syrian Volunteers in Germany, put a call out in Arabic for extra support. And hundreds of Syrians from across Germany answered the call to help flood victims.
We have more experience than Germans when it comes to disasters and war. We've been through it all and survived, so we're better equipped to deal with it than many who haven't yet faced these things.
In Sinzig, nestled in the Ahr Valley, a group of Syrians pitched in for months. They formed bonds with the flood victims, and now some of these helpers are moving to the valley themselves. Anas Al-Akkad is moving to Sinzig today, or at least partially, until he finishes his business degree in Saarbrücken. He's a co-founder of Syrian Volunteers in Germany and has yet to visit his new home. He just knows his friend Abdul already lives there.
I'm all worked up. Where will I shower? Where will I cook or do my shopping?
But he's excited too.
Sinzig has become my second home. I made a lot of friends while helping out with the flooding. They're like one big, nice family. So I really feel at home in Sinzig.
Anas Al-Akkad is also a paramedic and recently assisted Ukrainian refugees. The Syrian Volunteers now use the network from their disaster relief campaign in the Ahr Valley to coordinate aid for Ukraine.
It really reminded me of my own escape to safety. And my experience helps enable me to provide assistance to these people.
He picked up refugees in this bus. Now he's using it to move house. During the drive, he keeps getting calls to organize more aid transports for Ukraine.
We built up this team of volunteers after the flooding. And now the team can take on other tasks throughout Europe. And why not? It's our goal to help out in Ukraine and wherever else we can.
Anas has just arrived at his new home. After taking a look at it, he thinks it will need to be torn down. The damaged house is just a temporary solution. There's been a major housing shortage in Sinzig since the flooding. Anas's friend Faris and Abdul already lives in Sinzig and is helping him move in.
Ja, es geht.
This will be fine for now, until we've set up our headquarters anyway.
Headquarters aufbauen können.
Abdul Moin Bakran is there now too. His friends call him Hercules because he's so strong, and Hercules is also the name of his construction and gardening company. His two friends help him manage the business, since he's still learning German. He previously worked in Cottbus, in eastern Germany, for 4 years, but had difficulties settling in. No one would speak German with him there, but things are different here in Sinzig.
I moved to Sinzig because I found the people here so nice and friendly. Of course, I was helping them, but that's normal. When you see what other people are going through, it makes your own troubles seem less dramatic.
The residents of Sinzig weren't the only ones shocked by the destructive force this small river unleashed. The volunteers were taken aback as well.
It was terrible. There was mud absolutely everywhere, destruction everywhere. Wood, asphalt, and all kinds of things. Like that stuff over there.
The flooding affected 650 households in Sinzig. Many homes were completely destroyed by the sheer force of the Ahr River, and not all of them were able to be rebuilt. Many people are still living in camper vans or other towns until their houses are habitable again. Many residents were amazed by the Syrian volunteers.
Many people think those poor refugees are always in need of help. And then refugees show up right at your doorstep asking, "How can I help you? I'll give you a hand, free of charge. I came over from Berlin and paid for the trip out of my own pocket." And sometimes the flood victims could hardly believe it. Many of them cried and said, "We had a different image of you. We didn't expect you to be so caring and helpful. And we're sorry we had that kind of image of you."
Iris Pötz is just one of the flood victims the Syrian trio and their colleagues helped. They tore off all the plaster in her basement. She is still deeply grateful. We had a lot of phone numbers we could have called, but the Syrian construction crew was a real lifesaver and pitched in at short notice. Her house is still uninhabitable today. We had hoped we could at least live on the upper floor while the cleanup and restoration work was going on, but we were mistaken because the waters of the Ahr River had penetrated into the floor, making everything muddy here. Abdul is tapping on the walls to check for any cavities. He's not happy with the job the workers are doing so far. 54 euros per square meter.
Oh my God.
Abdul is appalled by the price she's being charged, so he offers Iris Pötz to fix up her garden for free.
Weitermachen, aber so nicht lassen so.
Nein, Gottes Willen.
Trocknen nicht schneller.
Ja,
muss.
Ne, da müssen wir sehen, wollen wir gerne Rasen wieder sehen?
The Syrians want to restore the town's old charm. That's their mission.
Here the people have reason for hope. You can do something and rebuild. But in Syria, that would be impossible. We have cities that are completely destroyed. There's no hope left there like there is here.
Now that winter has passed, construction work is underway again. Anas has another call. There are more Ukrainian refugees in need of transportation. The Syrian refugees network is in great demand these days. About 18,000 people live in the town of Sinzig, in the German state of Rhineland-Palatinate. The collaborative space co-working in Sinzig became an organizational hub during the flooding. Here helpers met up, ate meals, and slept in close quarters for weeks. The Syrian helpers are just arriving back at the co-working space, and they're happy to see their old colleague Jennifer Fleischer again. Things have calmed down a bit in the Ahr Valley. The worst of the disaster is behind them. The Syrians have made friends during their time here, and the residents of Sinzig did too. But not everyone was so open to the Syrian volunteers from the beginning. Some people really had to test the waters and were really cautious. But in the end, I got very positive feedback, and they were glad to have the Syrian volunteers as help. And it changed Sinzig as a community. The people of Sinzig treat each other much differently now, and that's really nice. They're way friendlier and not so skeptical towards new people or others. I have the feeling they're much more open now.
Wherever I look, there's a memory. Truly, in every square inch. We've had so many talks, shared so many nice moments and laughter together. It's a really nice place.
Faris has lived in a studio apartment in Sinzig since the beginning of the year, and for him it's a place of hope. The digital media designer wants to further develop his work. The dream is to turn the volunteer disaster relief group into a profession.
Through the Syrian Volunteers in Germany campaign or the Flood Relief campaign, we've created numerous digital forms and collected statistical and analytical data.
And they're using this data to help Ukrainian refugees too, because now they're the ones fleeing from bombs. Faris and Anas can take stock of their vast network, how many helpers have time and when, who has a driver's license, who can drive a truck. Their designated headquarters may be at a house that's set to be demolished, but their experiences have bolstered them in their dream of a better world, especially now. The war in Ukraine is upsetting to Abdul in particular. He lost his entire family in Syria in a chlorine gas attack.
Why is Putin doing this? Or Bashar al-Assad? Or all these people waging war in Syria? I don't know. But the same thing is happening now in Ukraine. Many Ukrainians don't know where to go. No food, no clothes. Just like in Syria. Everyone lives in tents. Why is Putin waging war? Why?
While we were filming, Anas explained how helping makes you feel stronger and find your place in society. Just like these volunteers who have found a new home. They hope to lead by example and keep pitching in wherever they're needed.